If you're a leader in finance or HR, you're constantly dealing with one huge core challenge. How do you move money? Not just move it, but move it fast, with perfect compliance and with rock-solid reliability. Today, we're going to talk about how you can flip that challenge on its head and turn it into a real strategic advantage. So let's just be real for a second. When you look at your payroll process, is it a risk? Is it a massive time drain? Because for most organizations, the honest answer is yeah, it's definitely both. It's not just some back office task. It's this source of friction and risk that's quietly working against your business month after month. Just picture it. All those hours your team spends doing manual bank uploads, running checks, doing reconciliations. That's time and, frankly, talent that could be spent on actual strategic work. And every single one of those manual steps is a chance for something to go wrong, risking some pretty painful penalties from regulators. Okay, so let's really dig into this from the company's perspective. We like to call it the manual juggle, because that's exactly what it feels like. A crazy high-wire act that your finance team has to perform every single pay cycle. See, when you run payroll, you're not just making one payment, right? No way. You're juggling at least 4 completely different streams of money. You've got employee salaries going one way, pension contributions another, then tax remittances to the authorities, and of course, all the other employee benefits. Each one is its own separate manual headache, which just multiplies the complexity and the risk. So, how do you stop the juggling? Well, the answer is an automation engine we call Pulse. It's designed specifically to take that entire complex, risky mess and make it simple, secure, and totally compliant. And this is where it gets really cool. You can see the transformation right here. Once payroll gets the green light, it all boils down to a single click. And boom, from there, Pulse just executes everything. Salaries are out, pensions are paid, taxes are sent to all the right places, all automatically. And, just as important, the system kicks out all the compliant reports you need. It's all handled. Done. So what does that one click really mean in the real world? It means this: a 90% reduction in the time you spend processing payroll. And let's be clear, this isn't some small incremental improvement. This is a total game changer. A process that used to bog your team down for days can now be wrapped up before lunch on a Monday. That fundamentally changes how your team works. And it's not just about being faster, it's about being way more accurate. The industry average for errors in a manual payroll process, it's around 3%. With Pulse, that number plummets to less than 0.1%. And that's not just about having clean data. It's about avoiding those expensive penalties and, of course, keeping your employees paid correctly and on time. But process efficiency is really only half the story. There's this huge hidden cost to old-school payroll systems, and it directly hits your most valuable asset, your people. Think about it. One of your employees gets hit with an unexpected car repair or a medical bill. That financial stress doesn't just vanish when they walk into the office. It comes to work with them, as distraction, as anxiety, as lost productivity. We're talking up to a 20% hit in output for every employee who's struggling. This isn't some soft HR issue. This is a real, measurable hit to your bottom line. And believe me, it gets even more expensive. When your talented people start leaving because a competitor offers better financial flexibility, the cost to replace them can be astronomical, as high as 150% of their salary. That is a massive and, frankly, preventable expense. This is where the other piece of the puzzle fits in. It's called Zazu, and it's designed to tackle that employee financial stress head-on. And in doing so, it turns what's a huge vulnerability for most companies into a massive strength for you. So let's just look at the options an employee has right now. On one side, you've got these predatory lenders charging insane interest rates, trapping people in a cycle of debt. It's a nightmare. But then, on the other side, you have Zazu. It gives your people earned wage access. That means they can responsibly get a piece of the money they've already earned with zero interest and zero fees. It's relief, not more debt. And this brings us to what might be the most powerful number for the business. What does this incredible, life-changing benefit cost your company? Zero. Absolutely nothing. You can offer a top-tier financial wellness tool that boosts retention and makes you an employer of choice, and it doesn't cost you a single dime. Okay, this is where the magic really happens, because Pulse and Zazu aren't just two separate good ideas. They're built from the ground up to work together as one single intelligent system. We call it the integrated power loop. Here's how that loop works in real life. Let's say it's the 15th of the month and an employee needs some cash, so they use Zazu to access wages they've already earned. The system is smart. It sees that and automatically flags it as a deduction for the end-of-month payroll. Then, when it's payday, Pulse just does its thing and processes the net pay. The advance is perfectly reconciled, automatically. The entire cycle is just seamless. And what's the result of that seamless integration? This is the killer feature for any finance leader listening right now. You get 100% advance recovery, guaranteed. Why? Because it's all handled before the final pay is even calculated. That means there is zero, and I mean absolutely zero default risk for your company. So what you end up with is this perfect win-win-win situation. For your employees, it's a lifeline. It gives them financial flexibility without the trap of debt. For your HR team, it's a superpower, a fantastic recruitment and retention tool that takes zero admin work. And for finance, it's pure peace of mind. No hit to cash flow, and that automatic risk-free reconciliation. Everybody wins. So let's pull it all together. When you combine that super efficient automated compliance with a financial wellness benefit that costs you nothing, you don't just get better payroll. What you get is a serious, unmatched competitive advantage. It really just boils down to these 4 things. First, you get unparalleled efficiency that frees up your best people. Second, you minimize your compliance risk so you can breathe easier. Third, you genuinely enhance your employees' lives, which makes you the place everyone wants to work. And fourth, you get all of this in one single, seamless platform. Look, the best way to really understand how powerful this is to see it in action for yourself. And we make it super easy. You can schedule a personalized demo, get access to a trial sandbox to play around with, and get a custom implementation plan built just for your organization. So I guess that leaves just one final question. Are you ready to stop thinking about payroll as just another cost center and start using it as the powerful, strategic tool it can be to build a more efficient, a more compliant, and a much more resilient organization?